This bitch. Fuck it. I ride. Got the top let down. Leaning to the right with the bass up loud. I slide, glide, choking on that lead.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
Ride. Got the top let down. Leaning to the right with the bass up loud. I slide, glide, choking on that lead.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
You see the European grills, so the lips glitz. Tank full of therapy, cause I be in them sick whips. Brick slip, roll with me, catch a contact. High definition, popping, flipping out the armrest. See, I'm a rider, dipping in the catalog. Just got it fitted on some shit I need a ladder for. Come up in your hood, stun when I leave, dude.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
I can't deny, I feel I'm such a fly guy. Top chop, call him Sleepy Hollow when they ride by. I know the haters can't stand it. I ain't got a blemish on my Jolly Rancher can. Ride on.
What's happening with it? Y'all already know what it is. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. When you come in the building, pull up, jump in the comments, let me know you in the building, and let's cook. We definitely got some hot topics to cook on. So make sure you hit my like button when you come in the building. You know, we got Bo Jack in the building. The first one in the comments. Salute. Thomas Morris, what's happening with it? Salute. Mr. Mechanical, what it do? Realistic Washington fan. Let me know if the music is too loud. Is my audio good? Let me know. Is the audio good? Yes, sir. We in the building. The press conference yesterday. Yeah. You know, it's a lot going on in boxing. A lot of BS going on in boxing too. Of course, what's new? Rock bottom, what's happening with it? Okay, Bojack, we good, okay, for sure. So like I said, as y'all come in the building, make sure that you smash on the like button. And if you want to, you can share this live stream. Let people know I'm on. Man, it's a lot going on in boxing. Shakur, he making sure that he stay in the headlines, you know. Kid Austin been calling him out. That's a joke to me, you know. And Shakur said, okay, bet. Shakur, he made a deal with Kid Austin, said, okay, you acting and pretending like y'all want to fight me so bad. Fight Abdullah Mason. If you beat Abdullah Mason, I promise you, I'll give you a shot at my WBC strap, and I'll make sure that they put it in my contract. Now Kid Austin, he ain't got nothing to say. All of a sudden, Kid Austin, when Abdullah Mason then got on his helmet too. Abdullah Mason like, what's up? I want that smoke. All of a sudden, Kid Austin, he ain't got quiet. He don't want no parts of Abdullah Mason. It's crazy because the only reason he's calling out Shakur is because he's clout chasing. That's what that is. I mean, what the hell has Kid Austin done to get a shot at a WBC strap? And what the hell has Kid Austin done for anybody to even think that he has any chance against Shakur Stevenson? But the funny thing is these are the type of topics that show you how boxing has changed and went in a horrible direction. Because if you go on Twitter or X, you see nothing but comments of people saying that Shakur is ducking Kid Austin. Shakur is afraid of Kid Austin. Kid Austin will beat the hell out of Shakur Stevenson. And I'm like, damn, this is what boxing has turned into. Like, you can't even have a conversation with a real boxing conversation with 90% of the boxing fans because they don't know shit about boxing nowadays. And I'm not talking about nobody in here. I'm just saying when you go on these social media platforms and you just read the comments and look at the things that people say, Kid Austin, he has a long way to go. A long way to go. He's not on the level of an Abdullah Mason. He's nowhere near the level of a Shakur Stevenson. He's just, like I said, he's a prospect. He's still green. And I've seen him already struggle in fights. Well, I seen him look pretty bad in a fight. It wasn't his last fight. It might have been a fight before his last. Like, he's not that impressive to me. You know, maybe down the line he might be good, but Kid Austin doesn't, like, when I look at him, to me, I don't see future superstar in Kid Austin. I just don't. You know, and I'm pretty good, you know, throughout my life, I'm pretty good at knowing, you know, who's going to be a star and who's not going to be a star. I'm pretty good at that. Because I do study film on fighters. I study tape and I can see, okay, this kid is special. This kid is, you know, he's going to be mid-pack. He might get a title, but, you know, he's not as good as they trying to make him out to be. And Kid Austin is not as good as they trying to make him out to be right now. Now, does he get better and just, you know, shock the world later on? Maybe, but I really don't see it. Like, Kid Austin is not on the level of a Keyshawn Davis. He's definitely not on the level of an Abdullah Mason. Like, when I see Abdullah Mason, he's a special fighter. Like, Abdullah Mason is a fighter that I look at and I say, this kid is special. He is the future of the sport, and he's going to run through whatever division he's in, you know, when he get to that level. Kid Austin, no, not at all. Now, I understand they trying to build Kid Austin and make him look like that because that's what boxing is today. Boxing is a bunch of smoke and mirrors. That's what it is. They fool you in boxing. And these promoters, they know how to fool the fans. And, you know, yeah, that's just what that is. My man Rock Bottom said Austin has about 3 to 5 years to develop. Yeah, I would say, you know, 4 years, a good 4 years. He's not there yet. Diana, what's going on with it, Queen? Much blessings. A1 Hoop Zone, my dog in the building. What it do? John Wick, I'm not even reading your comments because you always got something silly to say. Have you ever came to my show and just didn't say no stupid shit? You had to be the one to start it off. You know, I mean, come on, man. Oh, man. Bro. John Wick, what's wrong with you, dog? What's wrong with you, man? I'm serious, bro. I'm serious. You cannot compare Kid Austin to Shakur Stevenson. When Shakur Stevenson moved up to 135 and fought, first of all, Yoshino wasn't a champion, first of all. Where did you get that Yoshino was a champion at 135? I'm going to read your comment just so everybody can see how much you don't know. John Wick says, we're going to start it off. I knew somebody was going to come in and mess up the flow of a good boxing conversation, but we're going to start it off. John Wick says, Shakur should never try to throw Mason on him. Yoshi wasn't on Shakur's level, but got a shot. What are you saying? What did he get a shot at? Shakur moved up to 135, and his first opponent was Yoshino. What did Yoshino get a shot at? I'm trying to understand. We're talking about Kid Austin that's still a full-blown prospect getting a shot at the best fighter at 135 besides Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Getting a shot at the WBC title. So how are you comparing this situation that I'm talking about to Shakur Stevenson moving up and fighting Yoshino at 135? Make it make sense. So what Shakur did is he said, we have a prospect. You're a prospect. I got a prospect that's on my team with my camp in Abdullah Mason. Fight Abdullah Mason. If you can beat him, then I'll give you a shot at my WBC strap, because you have not done anything in the sport of boxing to earn a shot at nobody title. So that's how what you said was stupid. That's why I'm saying, bro, you come in here and you say ignorant shit without even thinking. That was dumb to say. To compare the situations, it was dumb. We know that you have a problem with Shakur because of Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson's beef. But bro, this ain't what we talking about. Don't just say dumb things just to type some shit. Think before you speak, dog. Come on, man. And get the hate out your blood. Get the hate out your blood. Diana says, what's happening with it, Aiden? Javon 10-7. Yeah, he's a prospect. He ain't earned nothing. I mean, but I don't have a problem with Kid Austin and his dad, because his dad is the one that be typing a lot of that shit, right? He even said it. But I don't have a problem with them trying to, get some clout for Kid Austin, because they trying to get people to know who he is, get his name ringing in the boxing world, in the box with the boxing media. I don't have a problem. That's what they got to do what they got to do, right, to get the recognition that they're trying to get. But as a fan, and as somebody, as a lot of us say we know boxing, we should be able to see what's going on and realize I don't have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? We see fighters do this to fighters that already have a name and that are established in the sport. We see this happen all the time. It's clout chasing. Kid Austin daddy and Kid Austin know they can't mess with Shakur Stevenson. They know they're not on that level yet. If Kid Austin was anywhere near that level, he'll be probably in the Olympics right now, going for a gold or a silver medal. Come on, man. Diana says Kid Austin should not get in there with Shakur at all. He needs more work, and before that, he definitely not ready. Though I like Austin, he ain't ready for that level. Of course, Diana, you know boxing, And Diana, she really knows boxing. And one thing about Diana, I've never heard her make an ignorant comment. Not under none of my videos, not in a live stream, because she looks at boxing and she just wants everybody to, all the best to fight each other. And she understands, the concept. She understands what's really going on. She a Devin Haney fan, but she'll let you know, like, hey, I think, Devin got to get in there and fight these guys. And that's how I am. I'm a fan of all of these fighters inside the ring. Some of them, I don't like how they move, on social media and outside the ring. And everybody going to have their choice of who they think is going to beat who. And I have my and I have my picks of who I think is going, beat who in each division. But at the end of the day, I still know that they still got to get in the ring and fight each other. Mr. Everything says Abdullah says they tried to put him on Keyshawn in a fight, so why not him and Abdullah, yeah. They don't, none of these, I'm gonna tell you like this. First of all, Oscar De La Hoya would never, ever, ever put Kid Austin in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, right? He wouldn't let that happen because Oscar, he's trying to build Kid Austin into a future star. He knows that Kid Austin is not ready to be in the ring with a Shakur Stevenson. With that being said, Kid Austin's father and Kid Austin know that Oscar De La Hoya would never put him in the ring with Shakur Stevenson no time soon. So they know that. So by them knowing that, they know exactly what they're doing. All of this shit is for the fans. It ain't for real. Like, that's what we got to understand. And a lot of the shit that goes on social media with these fighters, it ain't for real. They just doing that so we can do this what we doing right now. Engaging in a conversation about a fighter that we wouldn't even be talking about if it wasn't for this incident, right? We wouldn't be talking. Come on now. You think I'll be talking about Kid Austin on my live stream? And no disrespect to Kid Austin, but you think that I'll be talking about him or anybody else will be talking about him like this if it wasn't for this situation? So they're doing what they're supposed to do. We just got to understand what they're doing. And when it comes to Abdullah Mason and Kid Austin, Oscar is not going to put Kid Austin in the ring with Abdullah Mason. He's not going to have his prospect get whooped on by another prospect. One thing about a lot of the casual fans today, they'll get tricked and fooled by anything. But one thing about these promoters really know what these fighters are. They've scouted them since they're kids. They've tried to sign them. So all of these promoters, they know. Oscar De La Hoya knows what Abdullah Mason is. He knows what Kid Austin is. And he knows that he would never make that fight no time soon. The promoter's job is to promote the fighter. Make the fans pretend like, even though this fighter is a prospect, I think he's the greatest thing since such and such. A lot of times they don't really believe that. That's why they move these fighters like they move them. If Oscar thought that Kid Austin was on the level of a Shakur or even an Abdullah Mason, we wouldn't see Kid Austin still fighting F and D level fighters. You get it? Yeah, so I mean, this is just for show. For promotion. That's all it is. Like, come on, man. Like, they don't move fighters like that. Go from a F I'm fighting D and F level fighters, and now I'm gonna throw my fighter in there with a Shakur Stevenson, or I'm gonna throw my fighter in there with an Abdullah Mason that is very special. All these promoters trying to sign Abdullah Mason because they think that he's a future superstar. Kid Austin, nah. These promoters wasn't breaking their neck to sign Kid Austin. That's why he went with Golden Boy Promotions. Come on. But you know, I mean, shout out to the young kid. Shout out to Kid Austin. I hope that he go on to have a great career. Maybe he proves me wrong later on, but I just don't see him as being I'm trying to I think that he'll probably get to a level of like this is what I see. Like, and I said I could be wrong. I think that he'll get to a level of like a Lamont Peterson. You know what I'm saying? I see him being like on the level of a Lamont Peterson when he reaches his peak. I don't see him being special. That's Abdullah Mason. Like, he gonna be special for sure. That kid is a problem. I think that Carmel Moulton is gonna be special. He is a problem. It's just certain fighters, you can see it in them. You know, Kid Austin, I'm already looking. I look at him fight D and F level fighters, and I'm like, yeah, he got a long way to go. I already see a lot of holes in his game. You know, he's strong, he's powerful, but he got a lot. He got a long way to go. But anyway, moving along. Y'all make sure y'all smash my like button. Smash the like button. Smash on the like button for me. Mr. Everything said Haskell Rose was a war for the kid. Is that the fight? I think that might be the fight that I'm talking about when I said that Kid Austin had a very, very tough time in a very tough fight. I've already seen him in a hell of a tough fight already, and he ain't even started fighting C-level opponents yet. And when special fighters are still fighting B, F, D, and C-level opponents, they run through them. You know what I'm saying? When Shakur was on that level still, he was running through everybody. Abdullah Mason, he on that level, he running through everybody. When Errol Spence was on that level, he was running through everybody. You know what I'm saying? And we could go on and on. That's how you know if a fighter has a potential to be special, when he's just running through everybody like that. Then you move them up to C-level competition, and they run through them. Then you move them up to B-level competition, and they going through them. Jerron Boots Ennis. You know what I'm saying? That's what you see with Jerron Boots Ennis. Mr. Everything said Haskell was a sparring partner for Shakur early on. Kid Austin. I think that might be the fight, because I've seen him struggle in the fight before. Javon 1007 says Kid Austin kind of remind me of Porter, but less skilled. Yeah, Porter had that footwork. Porter had that amazing footwork. Porter was underrated with his footwork. Because he was so like wild with other things that he did, but he had that footwork, and that's what gave Errol Spence problems. Is that footwork with Sean Porter? Diana says, but John, why do they destroy the kid before? Okay. She's talking to John Wick. Let me see. But moving along, and like I said, y'all smash the like button. Salute to everybody in the building. Canelo Alvarez, man. So I did a video on this. I heard my man KQKC, he was talking about this earlier. And Canelo Alvarez, to me, two-tone, what it do? Two-tone says, outside of Gervonta fight, I think Shakur should run through 135 and fight these young prospects like Mason and Austin. Why he playing matchmaker? Bro, why would he fight prospects? I didn't go through my whole career, you know what I'm saying, become a 3-division world champion at 26 years old to be sitting around fighting prospects while everybody else on my level is fighting, you know, big major fights. Nah, he shouldn't. That shit's crazy, bro. Like, no, he shouldn't. The prospects should do what they're doing to get to the level of Shakur Stevenson in the next level. And nah, the fuck. But anyway, man, I don't know what everybody disdain about Shakur Stevenson is. You know what I'm saying? Shakur should be in the biggest fights that he could possibly be in, and Shakur should be fighting This year, he should be fighting. Him and Tank Davis should be fighting. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all. Later on this year, him and Tank should be fighting. It ain't no other fight later on this year that Gervonta Davis should be fighting besides Shakur Stevenson, unless he move up in weight at 135. No other fight. And it ain't gonna be no excuse for that. But do I think it's gonna happen? No. But we know, But anyway, going back to the Canelo, right? Canelo Alvarez is absolutely the biggest duck in boxing. Like I said the other day, I see a lot of people trying to compare Canelo Alvarez's situation and Gervonta Davis's situation and say that, oh, well, Canelo's just doing the same thing that Tank is doing. Absolutely not. He's absolutely not doing the same thing that Tank is doing. Because, like I said, and I'll say it again, when Gervonta Davis becomes undisputed and holds up a division for 3 years while having the same mandatory for 3 years and refuses to fight him, then you could talk and tell me that Tank is doing the same thing as Canelo. But until then, let's not put Canelo and Gervonta Davis in the same space. You know what I'm saying? Let's not put them in the same space because Tank and Canelo ain't even in the same book with each other right now. Canelo is by far the biggest duck in boxing. You know what I'm saying? By far. And for people to be defending Canelo Alvarez, right? And saying that it's PBC's fault. Let's talk about it for a little bit, okay? Because now I know the ins and the outs like I discussed on my video. Yes, Canelo Alvarez, he had 3 fighters in the contract with the PBC. Now, Canelo originally, he wanted to fight Jamal Charlo first, right? And the PBC, they said, well, we can't give you Jamal Charlo because Jamal Charlo ain't right. I don't have to go into the ins and outs because we know the situation with Jamal Charlo. But right there, let's stop right there. Right there, that shows you the care. Trying to fight Jamal Charlo when he had the ring almost 3 years and everything else that was going on with Jamal Charlo, but you want to fight Jamal Charlo? That shows me really somebody that's a coward, a bully. That's what Canelo was trying to do. He was trying to be a bully, and we know how bullies act. Bullies want to be the biggest, baddest, toughest one on the block and pick on somebody that's vulnerable, but when it's somebody they own size or somebody that's on their own level, well, that bully, they want to hide in the bushes. You know what I'm saying? When the smoke, when it's really smoke in the air, that bully want to hide in the bushes. They don't want to run through the fire, and that's Canelo Alvarez. So PBC told him, no, we can't give you Jamal Charlo right now. We'll give you Jamal Charlo. So he jumped on that. He jumped on that. We'll give you Jamal Charlo. Then we'll give you Jamal Charlo. And if everything goes right, we'll give you Errol Spence. So those were the 3 fighters that we now know that was agreed to in the contract with Canelo and PBC. Now, people say, well, Benavidez wasn't in the contract. It's PBC that's in the wrong because they should have put Benavidez in the contract. This is the thing, right? Canelo was trying to play games with the PBC, right? Thinking that he got over. You mean to tell me I'm going to be able to fight Jamal Charlo, who's been out of the sport for 16 months, coming off a hand injury and moving up 2 weight divisions. That's easy money. Oh, they're going to pay me 35 plus million to fight Jermell Charlo, a 154 pounder that's been on a vacation for a long time, that's coming off an injury. That's easy money. Oh, I got him now. This is Canelo. This is how he's thinking. I got him now. And then after that, they're going to let me fight his brother, pay me another 35 plus million for his brother that's been out of the sport for damn near 3 years. That's damn near lost his mind. Alcohol abuse, everything that's going on with him. And they're going to pay me 35. Oh, that's easy fucking money. And then they're going to let me fight a fighter that has to move up damn near 3 weight divisions in Errol Spence. Oh, I'm about to go over here and rob the bank. Yeah, I'll sign it. Where y'all want me to sign that? Now, he thought he was playing PBC. The whole time, PBC had in the back of their mind, we'll entice him with this, but we know that David Benavidez is mandatory. David Benavidez is still going to be his mandatory, so he's going to have to fight David Benavidez regardless if the WBC do what they said they was going to do, because remember, at this same time, the WBC was lying to everybody saying that they would mandate David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez if David Benavidez won his next fight. Remember, they said they will mandate that fight. So PBC is like, okay, well, he's going to have to fight David Benavidez anyway. We know if we put David Benavidez in the contract, Canelo will never sign, because we've already in the past tried to get Canelo to sign a David Benavidez fight. We offered him like 60 million and he wouldn't sign. So if we throw David Benavidez in his face, everything's going to be off the table. Everything's going to be off the table. So we'll entice him with these 3 fights, because PBC, they businessmen. They know that Canelo Alvarez is not trying to fight anybody that's going to give him real competition. He's not trying to be in the ring with anybody that he think that he might take a L to. You don't think PBC figured that out once they started negotiating with Canelo? So once they figured that out, they knew that they weren't going to put David Benavidez in the contract. It wasn't possible for them to put David Benavidez in the contract. So they went ahead, and those are the 3 fighters that they promised Canelo Alvarez. Those are the 3 fighters that they promised him. And of course, he jumped on that because he's looking for easy money. And so he goes in there and he beats Jermell Charlo. Easy money. They pay him what they supposed to pay him. Then he demands Jermall Charlo. Give me what y'all told me y'all was going to give me. I want Jermall Charlo. Well, we all know Jermall Charlo still ain't right. You just seen Jermall Charlo fight a 147 pounder. It being an all-out brawl with a 147 pounder. So you mean to tell me that you still want to fight Jermall Charlo? Well, of course he wants to fight Jermall Charlo because it's easy money. It's easy money. So PBC, they looking at the situation like, we can't give you Jermall Charlo right now, Canelo, and pay you 35 million because, first of all, Jermall Charlo, he's still been out of the sport too long. We know that he's not ready to be in a mega fight of this magnitude. Plus, we don't want to lose money. We just lost money giving you the Jermell Charlo fight, letting you cherry pick Jermell Charlo. We just lost a bunch of money. So we can't really pay you 35 million for Jermall Charlo because we don't think that the fight is going to generate that type of money. Canelo insists that he wants to fight Jamal Charlo. So the PBC said, okay, how about we do this? We'll pay you the $35 million for Jamal Charlo if you agree in your next fight to fight David Benavidez. Now, they was going to pay Canelo $55+ million for David Benavidez. Now, people might say, how are they going to pay him $55 million for David Benavidez? Well, because David Benavidez was willing to only take $5 million. You know, they have a budget for a fight. Usually they split the budget between both fighters. Well, David Benavidez is willing to only take $5 million. So in that budget, Canelo Alvarez could get paid $55 million. So they gave him an offer that most fighters wouldn't refuse. If you saying that you are the best fighter in the world, nobody can beat Canelo. This version of Canelo at 168, nobody can beat me. Well, of course, you'll fight David Benavidez for $55+ million and a pay-per-view, on top of that, where you probably gonna walk away with $70+ million. Ain't no way. And we're gonna give you $35 million to fight Jamal Charlo. We'll give you that because we know we're gonna lose money on that, but we'll do it just as long as we can get our money back with the David Benavidez fight. Because they feel that David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez is the biggest fight in boxing. They feel that fight will generate well over 100 million plus, probably 200, 300 million. They feel that fight is going to generate. So they're like, okay, cool. We'll just wait and we'll get our money back with the David Benavidez. Well, no, they not. Because Canelo said, nah, I'm not fighting no David Benavidez. He ain't in the contract. Well, we couldn't put him in the contract because we tried to put him in the contract the last time we tried to get you to come to PBC, and you didn't come because you refused to fight David Benavidez. So that's what happened. Now, a lot of people saying that PBC is in the wrong because they had these fighters in the contract and this and that. Well, we know what happened with Errol Spence. Errol Spence lost to he lost to Bud Crawford. Now, I'm hearing that they were willing to, give him Bud Crawford. They were willing to switch up Errol Spence because he lost with Bud Crawford. But they wasn't gonna pay him no $55 million to fight Bud Crawford. And Canelo, we know what that is. He didn't want to fight Bud. He said he'll never fight Bud. So they eventually agreed to part ways. It wasn't that Canelo left the PBC because PBC couldn't pay him the escrow account. And I seen Dundada, salute to you, Dundada, but I'm not even reading your comment because I already know you're going to say some dumb shit. So and I don't want you to get me out of my zone right now. But salute to Dundada. So, a lot of people defending Canelo and saying PBC was in the wrong. But at the end of the day, PBC is not in the wrong because Canelo Alvarez, it don't matter how you want to slice it, should be fighting the man that was his mandatory, that's been his mandatory for years on top of years. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to there are rules in boxing. These have been the rules for as long as I know, that once you have a mandatory, you have so long before they either strip you if you don't want to fight that mandatory. You either fight the mandatory or get stripped. Canelo knows that. Everybody knows that. So Canelo is in the wrong because he's using the power that he has to basically not have to go by the rules that everybody else have to go by. You feel me? Just because you Canelo, you don't have to abide by the rules. So how can PBC be in the wrong when Canelo been had a mandatory that he should be fighting? When Canelo tells you that he is the best fighter in the world and nobody can beat this version of Canelo. Nobody. But you still are afraid to fight somebody that's in your weight division that's been your mandatory for years and years. Huh? So at the end of the day, no matter how you want to slice it, you can say that PBC was in the wrong for not abiding by the names that they had in their contract, or that they, I don't even know if it was written in contract, but they had promised Canelo. You can say that, okay, cool. They was wrong. But Canelo's still ducking David Benavidez, no matter how you want to put it. He is the biggest duck in boxing. And the real reason I have a problem with this, for many reasons, but the main reason is because you continue to tell people that you're the best fighter in the world and that nobody can beat you. Nobody can beat that version of Canelo. But you're not willing to put your money where your mouth is. You're not willing to put your skill set where your mouth is. You're trying to get the easiest fights. Basically, what he's doing, y'all know what Canelo's doing? He's doing prospect shit while getting paid the most money in boxing. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's doing prospect type of shit. You know, getting in the ring with fighters that make him look good, where he can display his talents. That's what prospects do. The promoter puts you in fights so you can look good, so the fans can ooh and ah, so the fans can say, man, this motherfucker gonna be special. Oh, can't nobody beat him. That's all Canelo is doing. He's picking opponents where he can look special. Then he gonna get on the mic and tell you that nobody can beat me. Oh, I beat anybody. No, you won't. And I guarantee you, now, and the thing about it, right? He's forcing David Benavidez to move up because the WBC won't do their job. Also, we got David Morrell that's coming around. David Morrell gonna be on his helmet soon, but you know what the excuses for David Morrell gonna be for Canelo? When he start really gaining motion, and when he becomes the mandatory to Canelo Alvarez, it's gonna be that David Morrell doesn't deserve a fight with Canelo. What has he done? He don't have enough fights. So it's an ongoing thing, and he is the biggest duck in boxing. He is the biggest fraud in boxing. He's showing you it. Anybody that defends this is not a real boxing fan. Anybody that defends this, they just the Canelo Alvarez fan. My man A1 who's on, what's happening with it? The best dad, what did it do? Big Dog Willie, and let me get to these super chats. Big Dog Willie says Canelo honestly is the biggest duck in boxing, facts by far. Nobody even close to him. And Matayo Yoel, what's happening with it? He says, what it do? What it do? What's up to the chat? And what it do? And my man KQKC, Boxing Network in the building. Mr. Wow. The singing OG in the building. Farid, what's happening with it? It's crazy. You know, I mean, who else is gonna turn? Who else gets to have the same mandatory for like 2.5, 3 years and duck him, and get offered $55-60 million on 2 separate occasions and still duck him. Name me another fighter that's ever done some shit like that. You can't name him. You can't name another fighter that's ever done some shit like this. Panamanian, he says, I think David Morrell is already his mandatory. Yeah, I think that David is mandatory. Or I don't know. You can't really tell with Canelo because they'll tell you David Benavidez in this fight is fighting to be Canelo's mandatory for whatever scrap. And then they'll act like it never happened, right? And then you'll see David Benavidez the next fight, and they'll tell you that he's fighting for a title eliminator for Canelo Alvarez to be Canelo Alvarez's mandatory. Then he'll win that fight. And then his next fight, they'll pretend like it never happened and tell you that's a title eliminator. Boxing is a fucking joke, for real. Two-Tone, he says, like Canelo was hyped to fight Spence and career 147, but not, hold on. It skipped on me. But not Terrence Crawford, a career 147 pounder. Horrible. I think that with that situation, Two-Tone, honestly, right? Honestly, I think, like, if I can even try to make a little bit of sense out of this, I think when he saw Terrence Crawford do Errol Spence like he did him, then he realized, I'm not willing to take that chance. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that Terrence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. I really don't think he have a chance to beat Canelo. But like I said, I can't speak for Canelo. Canelo, he don't want to be in fights with anybody that he believe may have a chance, right? Now, he's seen what Crawford did to Spence, and he said, nah. Now, plus, it could be that Terrence Crawford is not as big as a biggest draw. My bad. It could be that Terrence Crawford is not the draw that Errol Spence was, right? But if Errol Spence had to destroy Terrence Crawford in the same manner, do you think that Canelo Alvarez would have went forth with that fight? Hell no. No. Canelo's whole thing, y'all got to understand this, right? Canelo's whole thing was, let me get these 2 easy fights, and then the third fight, we don't have it written in contract. We can go ahead and address the third fight when I get there. That's what Canelo was doing. You feel me? Let me get this easy money. Let me get Jermell Charlo and then Jamal Charlo. And then I probably won't even have to fight Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford because they're going to be busy fighting each other. And I'm going to let both of them destroy each other. And I don't even really have to worry about that. Then I'll be able to go back to the zone and pick off a Jaime Munguia, Edgar Berlanga, and go on from there, right? That's how Canelo moved it. We can see it. He wasn't going to fight Errol Spence if Errol Spence had to destroy Terrence Crawford or vice versa. He was stealing. That's what he was doing, Creole. Yes. He was trying to steal. And he thought he was going to get away with at least 2 easy fights right off the rip. Let me get Jermell Charlo real quick. Then let me get Jamal Charlo right after that and make sure that Jamal Charlo don't even have time to get himself together. So now, with the way that Canelo Alvarez is moving, because I've defended Canelo on several occasions before in the past. I don't remember when I was defending Canelo, but the way that he's moving, I know that he took clenbuterol to get ahead on purpose. I know that he was doping on purpose because he's showing his character. He's willing to do anything and everything he can not to lose. He's willing to do anything and everything he can not to take a loss. And I also pretty much know when he got caught doping, that wasn't his first time. That was just the time that they caught him. Now that he's not doping, look how he's moving. Look how he's moving. Now that they really testing him. That's why when he fought Caleb Plant demanded that there be 12-week testing. He only got 10, but he demanded it. See, if you stick around long enough, the man or the woman, they're going to show you their real character. And we see the character that Canelo Alvarez has. You know, he don't have no integrity like that. He willing to do anything he can to make himself look good and to go out of the sport without ever losing again. And if that means bribing the WBC, ducking the opponents in his weight division that he look at as a threat, that's what he's going to do. He's going to do exactly that. And so, you know, and y'all make sure y'all smash my like button. Y'all smash my like button. True Culture says Canelo has a better chance with Spence. Is a basic boxer. Crawford is a slick and smart. I don't think Canelo or I don't think Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence can beat Canelo at no 168, bro. Like, it's weight divisions for a reason. Ain't no name me a fighter that went up 3 weight divisions and fought one of the top fighters in the division and won. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see Roy Jones go up to heavyweight and fight Lennox Lewis. He wouldn't. And as soon as I said that, True Culture, he typed in Roy Jones. See, you can't. I do this boxing shit, dog. I do this boxing shit because I knew somebody was gonna say Roy Jones. But I'll go back to what I said. You didn't see Roy Jones go up to heavyweight and fight Lennox Lewis. We saw Roy Jones go up to heavyweight and pick off the easiest fighter that was in the division. You see what I'm saying? Exactly, R. Stokes. We seen Roy Jones go up to heavyweight and fight John Ruiz. Now, I ain't gonna call him no bum, but he was the weakest link. You feel me? He wasn't going up there fighting no goddamn Vladimir Klitschko or no Lennox Lewis, Vitaly Klitschko. That would have been stupid. That is the equivalent of Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence going up to 168 and fighting Canelo. It don't happen like that, bro. Now, if one of those fighters had been able to, you know, have a couple fights at 168 and then fight Canelo, you know, kind of basically grow into the division, then it would have made sense. But people running around talking about, oh man, Terrence Crawford stops Canelo. Terrence Crawford outboxes Canelo at one. First of all, Bud Crawford don't even know how he would feel that one. Man, that man gonna get in the ring at 168 and it's a whole different ball game. Doesn't matter how many 168 pounders he's sparring. He ain't sparring no fucking elite level fighters. He's sparring partners. What you think that Canelo Alvarez would do to those sparring partners that Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford are sparring that's 168 pounders? He gonna destroy them. He gonna make them not want to come back and spar again. That's just common sense. It's sparring. Elite A+ level fighters don't spar. You know what I'm saying? They're not sparring partners. True Culture just said, but it's okay for Spence to do it. Are you deaf? Did I just not say Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford Like, I don't understand. Like, what's wrong with some of y'all? What's up, dog? What's you hard of hearing? Serious question. Are you hard of hearing or you can't understand? I clearly said Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Both of them. Because Bud Crawford is your favorite fighter, that's all you heard is when I said Crawford. Y'all got to listen better, man. Neither one of them was going to go up and beat no Canelo. Straight up and down. You're not moving to 147 and beating up. Now, they can move you. I mean, you're not moving from 147 to 168. Now, is it possible for them to move up to 168 and fight a Rudy Poot or fight a C level or a B level fighter and beat them? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Just because Canelo is a duck and you know he'll get his ass beat by David Benavidez and wouldn't fight guys like David Morrell, that don't mean he's still not an A+ elite level fighter. Yes, he is. He's just not, you know what I'm saying? And he give any of those fighters problems. He just can't beat them because he's showing that he can't beat them because he's not willing to put it on the line against them. Canelo moved up and he fought. When Canelo moved up and he fought Bivol, he underestimated Bivol. I underestimated Bivol because I thought that Canelo was going to whoop Bivol because like I saw, Canelo and his team saw the same thing. Bivol looked very vulnerable when in his 3 fights before he fought Canelo. He fought UK domestic level fighter and Craig Richardson, and he had a tough fight. Craig Richardson gave Bivol a tough fight. Then he had 2 other fights where Bivol really didn't look that good. He didn't look like he could go in there and beat Canelo at 175. So Canelo looked at that and he was like, shit, give me Bivol. You see that Canelo didn't ask for bitter beef. He ain't want no parts of bitter beef. He thought he was going to be able to, he thought he was going to go to 175, pick off Bivol, and then drop the title and move and do what he wanted to do, but it didn't work out that way. You see that he didn't rematch Bivol. You see that? All that, I wasn't right. I wasn't myself. I was this. I had this injury. All of that shit. But he didn't go back and rematch Bivol. And Bivol said Canelo was lying. We tried to negotiate, and they never was willing to take the rematch. He said, I even told him I would rematch him at 168. They never sent me no offer at 168 or 175. Bivol did a whole interview and said that Canelo and his team, they lied to the media. They never was willing to take a rematch against him. So he ain't want no rematch with Bivol either. I told you, boxing is a whole bunch of just fooling the fans and, you know, putting out stories for the media to run with when it be complete lies. And if you got a name like Canelo, of course, they have a lot of control over the media. Just like you see what's going on right now. You got all of these channels that's lying for Canelo, saying that Canelo, you know, he left the PBC because there wasn't no money in the escrow to pay Canelo Alvarez, which is stupid as hell, you know. And Creole Traveler says PBC for life. I'm not a PBC fan. I'm a fan of anybody that put on the best fights. You know, if PBC give me some bullshit, I'm gonna tell you that PBC is on some bullshit and they giving us bullshit fights. You know what I'm saying? Like if Top Rank is giving us bullshit fights, I'm gonna tell you that. If the zone is giving you bullshit fights, I'm gonna tell you that. I really don't care what promotional company it is, but I will say this, right? PBC is not no damn fool. They're not gonna pay you. They're not gonna pay a fighter in return to lose millions and millions of dollars. That's just retarded. But I'll tell you like this. The criticism that I have with PBC now, because they're getting a lot of criticism with shit that they shouldn't be criticized about. But the one thing that I do think that they should be getting criticized about, that a lot of people are not talking about, is the lack of promotion for this pay-per-view that they have coming up with Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu and Rolly and Pitbull. I think the promotion is horrible. You can go on Amazon Prime. You can go on Amazon Prime. They have no advertisements. They have nothing to do. They have nothing about PBC boxing on Amazon Prime. I've searched it. They don't tell you that they have a fight coming up basically this month, because we in the last day of February. PBC don't have no advertisement at all on Amazon Prime. Haven't advertised shit on Amazon Prime. You can go type it in the search. You can't find nothing on PBC, but the only thing you can find on Amazon Prime with PBC is some fights from like 2015 and 16. Advertisement from 2015 and 16. Other than that, there's nothing on there with this pay-per-view that they have coming up. So with that being said, how are you supposed to prosper going on a new network? Like, how are you supposed to gain new fans and be successful with this pay-per-view if you don't have nothing on Amazon Prime? None of the people on Amazon Prime know that boxing is on there. Nobody knows, and I mean the people that are not on YouTube, the people that don't follow boxing on a regular basis. The people don't know that boxing has come to Amazon Prime. They don't know that Amazon Prime got a pay-per-view coming up on March the 30th, because PBC don't have shit on there. And so I think that's horrible. You can't go to a new platform and do the same shit that you was doing on the old platform, but even worse. So all of that pro PBC and pro Top Rank and pro DAZN, nah, bro. We just got to keep it a buck and give flowers when they are deserved and give criticism when it's deserved. So that's the thing that if anybody criticizes PBC on, they need to criticize them on the lack of promotion going to a new platform, because if this is how they're going to promote, it ain't going to work. They should have been promoting this event all over Amazon Prime. They should have been promoting this event. 30 days out from the fight, you still don't even tell fans that boxing is on Amazon Prime now. So yeah, man, that's horrible. That's what if you want to talk about the PBC, you don't got to make up lies and escrow accounts and all type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's things that you could talk about that's truthful. Creo says, PBC results speak for themselves. Am I wrong? He says, trust though, one results in my opinion. I mean, what results, bro? Like we don't know what the results are gonna be. I know that unless we was talking about Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, you can't really talk about the results lately. You know what I'm saying? Unless we're talking about Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, they haven't presented outstanding results. You know what I'm saying? We with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, that fight should have did over 1 million pay-per-view buys. As long as that fight was seasoned and marinated Let's just keep it a buck. I guarantee you that if PBC had that fight on Fox, that's when you would have seen the results. PBC was really giving the biggest results when they was on Fox. Once they switched everything to Showtime, I'm not saying that they didn't have okay results, but it wasn't on the level of Fox and PBC. Fox with PBC was giving y'all, different type of results. That's why we need to get off of this. Oh, I'm pro PBC. Bro, PBC is not a fight. It ain't a fighter or none of that. It's just a promotional company, bro. Let's stop promotional gangbanging. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop promotional gangbanging. Worry about who is giving you what fights at whatever time. Sometimes PBC give you great fights. Sometimes Top Rank give you great fights. The Zone, with the heavyweight division, they the one that's pretty much, giving y'all the great fights with the heavyweight division, not so much for the other, divisions. But, we got the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight. So I think that's going to be a great fight, great event. And now we're going to talk about that. So we're not going to, promotional gangbang and all of that shit. It is what it is. Big Dog Willie says, ETB, what do you think Devin made Floyd Jr. retire? Man, I think that Bill Haney said a whole bunch of dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that I'm not even going to say dumb, right? Let me take that back. I think that Bill said a whole lot of things because he knows it's going to hit the airwaves and people going to talk about it. Bill knows what he's doing. Do you think that for 1 second Bill really thinks or believes that Devin Haney made Floyd Mayweather retire? Come on, man. I don't need a lot of shit is not even worth repeating. But salute to Big Dog Willie. Y'all make sure y'all smash my like button. Smash the like button. Smash on the like button. Support the channel. But let me see. And another thing, like Razor said, another thing that PBC need to be criticized for is the inactivity of their fighters. Their best fighters is always inactive on the shelf, waiting a year and a half between fights. I don't like that shit. And I've criticized them about that. And if I had a fighter, an up-and-coming fighter, I wouldn't have them go to PBC just for that point. I don't want my fighter having to sit on the shelf, for a year in between each fight. So yeah. So I mean, anyway. So yeah. So anyway, and a lot of y'all, let me ask a question real quick before I move on, because Creole, he the biggest PBC supporter. I see you nothing. PBC can do nothing wrong in your eyes. Now let me ask you something, Creole, if you don't mind me asking. What ethnicity are you? Creole, what ethnicity are you? And y'all know what I mean by it. You black, white, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, native? Like what are you? If you don't mind me asking. And keep it a buck. If I can't tell, you don't have I can't tell by your picture. Now when I asked him a question, he said he dropped gems and he's out. I'm just asking a question. Answer the question, dog. So I can make my point. Answer the question so I can make my point. Okay, I'm gonna assume that he black. You the same color that I am, right? Because he put a black, he chunked the dude with a black hand. So I'm gonna assume that he black. Now, let me tell y'all something before I move on, right? A lot of us, we pro PBC and support PBC to the fullest because we like, okay, yeah, Al Hammond is black. And when PBC came in the building, they was putting on for the black fighters. The black fighters was being showcased, the Adrian Brunners, the Sean Porters, even the, the Puerto Rican fighters, the Danny Garcias, the black fighters like Keith Thurman. He said, okay, you said you black. Okay, right, okay, right. And they was putting on for the black fans. They was showing out in the Barclays, going to, places where the black fan bases could go see these fights. They were showing out the Deontay Wilders, and PBC started being looked at as the black promotional company, right? The place where black fan base and the black fighters had a home. But see, what y'all don't realize is once they reeled all of the black fan base in, they changed that shit right in front of your eyes. So while you over here rooting for PBC because you like PBC is black, everything is black. PBC started putting on more Mexican fighters. You see a black fighter on maybe a black fighter on the card. The whole undercard would be Mexican fighters. All the events were filled with Hispanic fighters. And I'm not saying nothing is wrong with that. I'm just saying what y'all thinking ain't actually it. PBC was doing more for the Hispanic and Mexican fighters that are not black. But y'all got fooled and y'all pro PBC because you think that PBC is black. Go to all the Showtime cards and tell me who was on the undercards. Tell me what fighters were being promoted the most. Why? Your black fighter was sitting on the shelf waiting. That's the real if you really want to keep it a buck. If you really want to have that conversation, because I just noticed that everything was PBC could do no wrong. PBC this and PBC that and PBC this and PBC that. Well, you're rooting for some shit that you thought you was rooting for, but what you thought you was rooting for is the opposite. Because if you want to talk about the black fighters that's being put on and you want to root for some shit, well, the last time I checked, Top Rank is putting on more black fighters than the PBC has since 2015-16 era. If you want to root for a promotional company because you think that you're rooting for your people, well, you might want to root for that old man Bob Arum because he putting on more fights with black fighters than any promotional company out there. It ain't the PBC. Shit. The PBC is motherfucking, they doing shit like Golden Boy damn near. Damn near PBC putting on more Hispanic fighters than Golden Boy is. If you really want to keep it a buck. So let's stop with this whole promotional thing, bro. It ain't what you think it is. Jermaine Wood says someone said PBC is ran by Mexicans. Who is the matchmaker? I don't know. I don't know. Don't let me get the line to you. I haven't done that research to see because I really ain't really cared too much. I'm just, addressing what's pretty obvious to me. I felt the same way that Creole Traveler felt when the PBC came on the scene. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was like, yeah, PBC, like, I like this. They finally showcasing, fighters that look like me. And it's ran by a man that looked like me. Like this PBC, that shit was different, bro. You know what I'm saying? You seen these fighters, you seen all the fighters black backstage when they came out, man, in the Barclays. It was popping. It was like, it was a new culture. But then when they reeled you in, they changed it. It's just like a new restaurant that hit the scene. You like, man, I could go to this motherfucking chicken spot. Man, they giving me all this food and it's cheap as hell. And it's good. Then 3 years later, you look up and you like, man, they barely giving me any food. This shit don't taste like it used to, and it's high as hell. This shit high as hell, and it's nasty now. This shit didn't used to be like this. It didn't used to be like this. But you know what they did? They brought everybody in with the advertisement, with the great food, the cheap prices. Now they own. Everybody know about them. And when you was rooting for them and, oh man, telling everybody about them, advertising the place, this is the best food, they gradually start hiking up the prices and giving you less and less food. But now they already done gained what they want to gain out of y'all. That's what the PBC did. That's what the PBC did. Come on. That's what the PBC did. You know, Dundada says, yeah, one of the matchmakers just left PBC and he was Latino. Hey, you know, so, you know, it really don't matter to me because I can get into a deep conversation, you know. You know, when you put money in the black man's face, they always gonna change the script on you. They gonna be pro-black. Everything gonna be pro-black, and to them, you know, them other people start, well, we gonna give you this to do this. Don't think it is what you think it is. PBC ain't pro-black. PBC ain't black, period. PBC is just like any other promotional company. They gonna do whatever they gonna do whatever bringing them the money. So if promoting more Hispanic fighters, trying to get a Hispanic crowd that they think is gonna pay to see their fighters more than the black crowd is gonna pay, that's what they gonna do. They fooled you, man. They told you that they was gonna cater to the black crowd. They didn't tell you that out of their mouth. They did it by their actions and then changed it right in your face. It is what it is. Because if you listen to Leonard Ellaby, who is high up in the PBC, their motto is the Mexican fan base is going to pay and support more than the black fan base. Why do you think Gervonta Davis always fights Mexican fighters most of it? Why do you think that Leonard Ellaby told you why they don't put two black fighters against each other? Because they don't value the black dollar. They don't. Like, come on now. That's why I kind of get under my skin a little bit when people start, you know, oh, PBC this and pro PBC. And it ain't what you think it is, bro. We just got to stop and look. And a long time ago, once I start seeing, I'm going to these fights, these big fights, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching, these are PBC events, and I'm watching 9 fights. The whole undercard got nothing but Hispanic fighters, and then you give me the main event, and that might have a black fighter against another Hispanic fighter. I'm like, oh, okay. When PBC first started off, it was black against black. But you know, they're gonna run business how they run, and don't nobody take this the wrong way. I'm not criticizing the Mexican fighters and the Mexican fan base. I'm just telling y'all what's going on, because a lot of us black people think that the PBC is a black, oh man, they black owned. It's ran by a black man. And then what's funny is the other cultures, the Mexican fan base and the white fan base, they hate on the PBC. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really too big of a Caucasian fan base in boxing. They over there on the UFC. But A lot of Mexicans, y'all hating on Al Haymon in the PBC when he doing more for your fighters than he is for the fighters of his own color. Come on, man. Y'all don't want to have that conversation. So who's really the dummies? Y'all hating the man that's putting on for y'all culture more than his own culture. So who's really the fucking dummy? I hear this shit. I see this shit in my comments all the time. Hispanic fans coming in my comments. Oh, Al Haymon, the PBC, the black fighters. And I'm like, you dumb, you fucking idiot. It's more Hispanic fighters that's getting showcased on the PBC than anybody. Y'all should be thinking, and it's the opposite. The black fan base should be thanking Al Haymon because he putting on more black fighters than anybody. And the Hispanic fan base should be thanking Al Haymon because he putting on more Hispanic fighters than anybody. Why the fuck every press conference with PBC you gotta have a translator? Come on, man. Let me move on. Y'all, a lot of y'all ain't gonna get it. Devin Bell says, and a lot of fans F with PBC because Floyd was attached to it. In the beginning, you know, but a lot of these new fan base, Devin, they wouldn't even really, you know, paying attention to boxing back when PBC jumped off. Diana says, I can't lie. I kind of feel for Tank. I think he's finally getting it. Nothing but better for him. He finally realizing he's the blessed one with the gift. And it's his choice. Get it in, Tank. We're gonna see. Only time will tell, you know, but I can't really criticize fighters like Gervonta Davis now when boxing is just ran like this. Like all the boxing, that's why Canelo is the face of boxing. You know why Canelo's the face of boxing? Because if you look at how boxing is ran in a whole, as a whole, right? Just the sport of boxing. If you look at all of the bullshit that's in boxing, the best not fighting the best, a whole lot of smoke and mirrors, Canelo the face of boxing. Who else is better to be the face of boxing but Canelo? Because Canelo is absolutely what boxing is today. The way that Canelo moves is what boxing is today. Can't nobody else be the face of boxing but Canelo Alvarez. Look at how he moves. Man, he's absolutely the face of boxing. Whether you want to, accept it or not. He is the epitome of what boxing is today. The face of boxing. Straight up and down. Just is what it is. Queen Sheena, what's going on with it, Queen? Salute. Yeah, Diana, he the face of boxing. You know, this is what it is. So I mean, you know, but moving along, right? Let's talk about this press conference from yesterday. I want to talk about the press conference. Hell of a press conference. That's how you put on a press conference. That's how you put on a press conference. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Bill Haney stole the show. Hey, Bill Haney, man. Bill Haney is the manager of the year by far. You know, I know a lot of people don't like Bill Haney. They get sick of him, but he is doing his job by far. Bill Haney was very entertaining in that press conference. I mean, you just got to admit, man, Bill Haney funny. Like, a lot of the shit that he does is funny. He could talk his ass off. He could promote the hell out of a fight. And Bill Haney stole the show. Bill Haney absolutely stole the show. I enjoyed that press conference. I think that Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Bill Haney, even Bernard Hopkins, they showed the rest of these fighters that's coming with these dull-ass press conferences how you put on a press conference. That's how you put on a press conference. You know, and if anybody says anything negative about that press conference, I've seen a lot of negative comments. Oh, it just seems fake to me. They're just fake and they're just doing too much. Like I said, my last live stream, y'all got to just get out of this shit with, oh, if it's Devin Haney and I'm a Gervonta Davis fan, I'm going to hate. And if I'm a Devin Haney fan, if it has anything to do with Gervonta Davis, I'm a hate on everything they do. Y'all got to step away from that shit and just be boxing fans. Like, all of the bullshit, and y'all really acting like just, you know what a lot of y'all fans remind me of today? Y'all remind me of boy band groupies. You know how like little girls act when they, you know, have a favorite boy band and they groupies? That's how a lot of y'all niggas is acting today. Like boy band groupies. Just step back and be a boxing fan when boxing gives you an event to be a fan about. This fight is promoted great. The two, I've been watching the interviews that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia have been doing. And I'm gonna say this about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is great in front of a microphone. Ryan Garcia has great presence when you put him in front of a microphone doing an interview. He's not camera shy at all. I've seen him carry out several interviews on huge platforms, ESPN, Ariel Awani, his podcast, what's the with Charlemagne and them, what is it called with Charlemagne and what is it? Help me out. Somebody help me out. I just lost all train of thought. What's the show called with Charlemagne and Breakfast Club? Thank you, Devin Bell. With Breakfast Club, right? I seen Ryan and Devin Haney. He do his thing too, but Devin is not savvy in front of the camera, nowhere near like Ryan Garcia is. And the reason why is because certain things, like Devin can speak well. You know what I'm saying? I think that Devin speaks well for himself. He's getting a lot better in front of the camera, but Ryan Garcia is on another level. And the thing that I like about Ryan is he don't hold his tongue for nothing. If Ryan gonna tell it all, he gonna give you what you want to hear in every interview that he give you. And let me take that back, what you want to hear. A lot of y'all don't want to hear nothing if it's not favored towards your favorite fighter. But I'm saying he gonna give it to you straight out, right? Whether you believe what he said or you don't, Ryan don't hold nothing in, and he just so well spoken in front of a camera, and he ain't hiding nothing. He just all the way out there. He an open book, and he know how to sell a fight. Ryan Garcia, real talk, he is probably the best fighter at selling the fight in all of the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia and Bill Haney. Nobody can touch Ryan Garcia and Bill Haney when it comes to being in front of a microphone, doing an interview and selling the. But Bill Haney, I ain't gonna put Bill Haney know how to do a lot of shit to sell a fight, right? But Bill Haney, he'll take you around the block. If you ask Bill a question that he really don't want to answer, he's gonna skip over that question and take you all the way around the block. It ain't nothing that you can ask Ryan Garcia that he won't ask. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing about Ryan that you want that you can ask him that he won't ask. And Ryan is terrific in front of the mic. And that press conference yesterday was like that was a press conference. That's how you do a press conference. It was funny at times. It was serious at times. They went at it. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Haney got up there and he pretty much stole the show. He got on Bernard Hopkins' ass. He got on motherfucking Ryan Garcia ass. He got on Ryan Garcia daddy. Then Ryan Garcia got back at them. Like, you know, that was a press conference. Fast talking Bill Haney. And I'm going to tell y'all like this. Now, the product in the ring with Gervonta Davis and the product inside of the ring with Tank Davis and Frank Martin, they might give you a better product inside of the ring. I don't know. We got to see both fights happen. But they press conferences and the way that they going to promote that fight ain't going to touch the way that they promoting Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. And with that being said, I think that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, they're going to do big numbers. If Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney don't do big numbers, the way this fight is being promoted, it's going to be a black eye to boxing. I don't see no way in hell that Ryan and Devin are not going to do big numbers. Because this fight is being promoted on a different level, and I like it. And I'm excited about the press conference that they're going to do in LA tomorrow. So, you know, it's a whole bunch of... See, Creole Traveler, you already hating on this shit, bro. And this is the type of shit that I'm talking about, right? We're talking about how great the press conference is and how good the event should do because the way they promoting it. And the first comment that you come in here is make is they good for goofy, right? They good for goofies. And then you come in here and say it ain't no money in that. Bruh, why are you hating? That's what I'm saying. Boxing fans today, it's just y'all latch on to a fighter or two that you like, and then the other fighters you just hate on. It ain't no need for all of that, bro. Because at the end of the day, you might not buy it, bro. Because, you know, you got hate in your blood. I see that. But you going to watch it. So if you going to be watching Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, I mean, Ryan, if you're going to be watching Ryan and Devin Haney fight, what you talking about? You're going to be sitting in front of your TV watching it. So where's the hate coming from? Why are you downing it? Why are you talking about what it ain't going to be and what it don't have? You feel me? No, don't block nobody, Sheena. It's all good. Don't block nobody. But I'm just, you know, it's crazy. Like you hating on the fight, but you're going to be watching it. What sense does that make? I guarantee you ain't going to turn your TV off when the event is going down. You're going to be, like I said, I know you ain't going to pay for it because I already see how you hating on it. But I guarantee you're going to be scrambling and rambling trying to find the screen. You're going to be breaking your neck to put that motherfucking fire stick on to watch the fight. Now, if you ask me, John Wick, Diana, Sheena, everybody in here know I'm not the biggest Devin Haney fan outside of the ring. But I respect a great fighter or a very good fighter inside of the ring because I'm a boxing fan. I respect the shit out of Devin inside of the ring. I think he do a lot of monkey shit outside of the ring when he get the line and shit. But that don't have nothing to do with me supporting him watching his fights inside the ring. If he putting on good shows, if he fighting good competition, Now, if you wasn't hating on the event with Ryan Garcia and Tank, why you hating on Devin and Tank? Like, come on, man. We gotta stop doing this, just latching on to a fighter and going with the crowd. Bro, you're hating because I'm giving the event and the promotion its flowers, and you come in with back-to-back comments about what the fight ain't gonna do and goofy shit and all of that, bro. That's how you hate it. You didn't come in and say, well, yeah, you know, it's a hell of a promotion. Yeah, I can give you that. You came in hating, bro. That's hating. If we're shining light on the event and giving them credit for what they're doing well, and you the first one to come in and start shitting on it, that's hating, dog. That's hating. And the only reason I say that Gervonta Davis and the Frank Martin fight, the promotion ain't gonna be on this level is because Tank Davis, he really don't talk like that, and Frank Martin, he really don't talk like that. They don't got the gift of gab like Bill Haney and Devin do. I mean, not Devin, like Bill Haney and Ryan do. One thing you can say is, like, I'm not talking about the product inside of the ring, right? I'm talking about the promotion. Keep it real. Everybody that's in here watching right now, and y'all make sure y'all smash my like button. Smash my like button. Keep it a buck. Just keep it a buck with me. Put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed the press conference yesterday. All hate, all biasness aside. Put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed the press conference yesterday. Put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed the press conference. It don't matter who you like and who you don't like. We just talking about the press conference. Hot Boy says 1. Big Block says 1. Diana says 1. John Wick says 1. Big Dog says it was okay. We know he can't stand Devin and Bill. That's a lot for Big Dog to say. Jose says 1. Sheena. Okay. Devin Bell 1. Cool Breeze says 1. Bama Jeff say 1. Cassandra, she says she missed it. Josh Gallimore, he put a 1. And Josh Gallimore is the biggest Tank fan, you know, next to Knockout Boxing. And he even said he enjoyed it. Sheena said she loved it. And I don't think Sheena is the biggest Devin and Bill fan, but you know, Creole Traveler. See, Creole even admitted that he felt he liked the press conference. That's all it took, bro. You ain't have to dog them out. We just giving them, this is how a press conference should be ran. And the reason, right, and Queen Cassandra says that she missed it. You got to go back and watch it. It was very entertaining. It was a hell of a press conference. Javon says, I just watched the fights, no build-up. Well, build-up is what makes people want to watch the fights more. But the reason I'm talking about it, right, is because if you're a die-hard boxing fan, yes, you know what's going on. You're going to watch it regardless, right? But for a lot of casual fans, if you want to get people interested in watching an event that's usually not going to watch a boxing event or wasn't interested in before, you got to know how to promote and you got to know how to put on when the press conference, when those lights and cameras come on and y'all do that press conference, you got to know how to put on. And the problem with fighters today is they don't know how to put on. They don't. That's why you see Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford do all those press conferences and the fight underwhelms when the pay-per-view numbers come out. They only do 650,000. if Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence knew how to talk shit like Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney and Bill Haney know how to talk and put on a press conference like that, that fight between Bud Crawford and Errol Spence would have easily did over 1 million pay-per-view buys. People were turned off when they saw the press conference. It was too friendly. Wasn't nothing to go back and talk about. Content creators had to basically pull strings to find something to really talk about that went down in the press conference. Errol Spence was wearing suspenders. Terrence Crawford was, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't really shit to talk about. Now, yeah, they better fighters. But are you getting the fans excited? The UFC fans that might tune in, are you getting them excited? That's the difference. Josh Gallimore says Arrow versus Bud Promotions was kind of ass. Exactly. That's my point. That's my point. Now, if their promotion had been like this, like I said, it would have easily done over 1 million pay-per-view. And a lot of these fighters, they scared to come out of their shell in front of a camera. We don't have that problem with Ryan Garcia. You don't have that problem with Bill Haney. You don't have that problem with Devin. And we know at one point in time, Devin barely talked. But Devin get it now. Devin know how to talk that shit. Don't matter if you like him or not. Like I said, I ain't the biggest fan of him. I ain't finna get on here and just hate on him and lie just because. And we see a lot of people do that in boxing. You know what I'm saying? We seeing it going on with Shakur. Motherfuckers just making content just to hate on him every day because they don't like when he got into it with Devin Haney. Or motherfuckers talking shit about Tank Davis and, you know, just shitting on him every day just because they don't like that he got into it with Devin Haney or another fighter that they like. We need to come off of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We need to come off of the bullshit and just, you know, be boxing fans sometime, man. This is an event that I think that Devin and regardless of what Tank Davis and Frank Martin do, I think that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia are gonna do big numbers. I really do. You know what I'm saying? I know that, you know, Gina right here, she was, you know, she was watching it. We watching it, and she's like, man, I really want to see this fight now. She don't even really usually watch press conferences. She started watching that shit and was like, yeah, oh yeah, man, I got to rewind this back. I got to see what happened in the beginning. She was like really into that shit. And that tell you something. She don't really be usually giving a damn about no press conference. I'd be like, man, such and such had their press conference today. Oh, they did? Oh, okay. Move on. So when you get somebody attention that really don't give a damn about it, that's when you know you're doing your job. And that's just the beginning. Sheena says hello. She doing her little workout. I think she got her headphones. She can't even hear me. She in there working out. She can't even hear me. But I'll let her know when she take the headset off. It's crazy, you know. Josh Gallimore says Ryan and Bill Haney is a recipe for entertainment. Yeah, real talk. A lot of people, oh man, Ryan's a clown. He's an Instagram model and he ain't shit. And Ryan know how to sell a fight. Ryan know how to talk that shit. But you know, boxing fans, man, they always gonna cry about some shit. I was and Calvin Elliott in that Cash App, man. I appreciate you, my brother, for supporting the channel in the Cash App. And Sheena, I appreciate you for coming through supporting the channel in the Cash App, Sheena. Or maybe that was yesterday. I can't really tell. But thank you anyway. Hey, you know what, Cassandra? She don't be watching Love and Hip Hop. She be watching. I ain't gonna lie. She got me. Motherfucker probably gonna make videos about this shit. She got me watching that what's that show on Zeus where them females be fighting, man. Them hey, they be fighting their ass off. She be watching that shit. I forgot what it's called. I think it's like Baddies East or some shit. Oh, I'll let her know, Diana. She can't hear me right now. She can't hear nothing. I'm saying she got them headphones on bumping. I think it's like Baddies East or West or whatever. Yeah. I was like, shit. I got to watching that shit with her. I was like, shit, they throwing down more than these fighters. This shit is all out war. But yeah, if you like boxing, you gonna like that. That's women's boxing to the third level. That's women's boxing on a whole nother level. Hey, Cassandra, I ain't gonna lie. You know I don't watch reality TV, but that shit lit. Razor says, do I think boxing does a poor job on promoting every fighter and fight cards? I think they do. But I think that most of these fighters, they don't know how to promote themselves. Imagine if Jerron Boots Ennis had to gift the gab that Adrian Broner had, or that Floyd Mayweather had. Imagine if Jerron Boots Ennis could talk like Adrian Broner or Floyd Mayweather. He'll be on a whole nother level. We wouldn't be talking about Jerron Ennis and people not wanting to fight him, because he would be such a big draw that people will be begging to fight him. A lot of these fighters, they don't have no character and no substance behind them. And then they think like, oh, I ain't gonna do all that extra shit. I'm just gonna get in the ring. And fight. I don't need to do all of that. When they don't understand, promoters don't promote the fighter like they did yesterday. It's a new day and age. You got to know how to talk that shit. A lot of times now, it don't matter how good you can fight. Look at Bud Crawford. Bud been good at fighting his whole life. Been getting knockouts for the past 7-8 years. Why Bud ain't, you know what I'm saying? Then you ask, okay, well, damn, why Bud ain't doing million pay-per-view buys? Because he don't have the character like that. Or he's not willing. Well, I ain't gonna say that he don't have the character, because I seen Bud. Bud got character behind closed doors, but are they willing to do what it takes when they get in front of the microphone? No. Is Errol Spence? Errol Spence got a whole bunch of character, but is Errol Spence willing to go the extra mile when he get in front of the microphone? No, he ain't. Errol Spence ain't willing to do what when the biggest press conference of his life came right in front of his face. Him and Bud Crawford. Errol Spence wasn't willing to do what he did when he stepped on the podium way back when PBC first started, and he got on the podium, remember, in that press conference, and he started talking shit about Terrence Crawford's resume. He was a little intoxicated. Let's just keep it real. But he was lit. He wasn't willing to get lit like that in that press conference. But we see what we get in return. These fighters ain't willing to do what Floyd Mayweather did. Javon, yeah. They ain't willing to go on WWE and get lit like Floyd Mayweather went on Dancing in the Stars and went to the WWE. That's why, and I spoke about that before, Javon, when I said that Tank Davis, he could easily do 1 million pay-per-view buys on his own. I'm talking about on his own, because he didn't do 1 million pay-per-view buys on his own. He had a lot of help from Ryan Garcia, right? But he could do he could go in the ring, do 1 million pay-per-view buys with Julio Hector or anybody, if he was willing to do what Floyd Mayweather did, if he was willing to go on these late night TV shows, if he was willing to pull up and do a motherfucking WrestleMania, you don't think that? I don't know who run WWE now. It ain't Vince McMahon because he couldn't keep his hands off of women and shit. You know, he wanted to feel on shit like he wanted to be touchy feely and wanted to send all type of explicit photos and shit. So they had to get, you know, Vince McMahon had to step down. But whoever run the WWE, you don't think that they would love to have Gervonta Davis on a WrestleMania? Of course. But these fighters, man, they not willing to take those chances. Oh yeah, you had your headphones on. Diana and Sheena told me to tell you hello. She says hello. Now Jermaine says Tank had help with Ryan with the pay-per-views, but will Ryan help Devin sell 1 million? It might. I just think the only because the way that if they continue the way that they promoting this fight, the platforms that they're going on, they was on ESPN, they was on the Breakfast Club, they was on the biggest podcast for MMA, Ariel Helwani. They've been everywhere. Everywhere you could think of, Devin Haney and Ryan, they've been there, right? People are watching these platforms. Millions of people are watching these platforms. The only thing you can ask is, it's on DAZN. We got to see, because DAZN don't have a good track record when it comes to pay-per-view, when it comes to getting people to sign up for pay-per-view. They couldn't even really do it with Canelo. I don't know what it is. People don't want to sign up for that DAZN app. So we'll see. That's the only thing. Now, if you promoting the same way that Devin and Ryan Garcia are promoting, and it's on Fox, on PBC on Fox, if it's on PBC on Fox, or if it's just to where you could pick up, well, I ain't gonna say cable. I ain't gonna say cable and satellite because I don't really think too many people still got cable and satellite, right? But it's on PBC on Fox or something like that, and you can order it on the PBC. On the Fox app, or you can order it on your regular TV like that, and you don't have to sign up to DAZN. Then I tell you for sure, this is gonna do over 1 million pay-per-view buys. But I don't know. We gotta see, you know. We gotta see because we just gotta see. I know that it's gonna do well. What I'm saying is I think that it's not gonna do as well as it could do if it wasn't on DAZN. But who knows? Maybe, you know, maybe people say, you know, they promoting this well enough. We all know that we got to go to DAZN to watch it. You know. Hell no, DAZN ain't no $19.99 a month, Sheena. I think they done boosted that thing up to damn near $30 a month. After taxes, you paying like $30 a month for DAZN now. That's why I got rid of it. But I'm going to buy this fight. I'm definitely going to pay for this fight. I think they deserve it. I think that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, they putting in the work promoting this fight. A lot of work. It takes a lot of work. Y'all got to understand, man. Having to answer the same questions and tell the same story over and over and over and over again. And having energy, right? Not being lackluster, having energy while doing it. One thing about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, you could tell when they was promoting, when they was doing some of those interviews that they was doing, you could tell they was just going through the motions. They didn't even want to be there. They didn't even want to be there. You know, Errol Spence was like, yeah, shit, I don't know. You got to ask him. I already, you know, I already said what I had to say about that. Yeah. We're going to see. We're going to see what happened if we get out of line. We're going to see what happens, you know. Shit. Yeah. Shit. So, I mean, how do you feel? I mean, do you think that, you're going to get a knockout Errol Spence in this fight? Yeah. It's going to be what it's going to be. And it's like, motherfuckers looking at that shit like, bro, if you ain't enthused and excited about this shit, I ain't too excited about it neither now. And then Terrence Crawford, like, shit, I mean, people want to talk about, my resume and when I fought Kell Brook, look at Kell Brook was, Bud was actually a little bit more turned up than Spence was. But I ain't gonna lie, Bud was doing more to sell the fight with Errol Spence than Spence was. And I'm a Spence fan, but I gotta keep it a buck. Bud was more turned up than Spence was. We gotta keep it a buck on that. But it was just like, if I'm a UFC fan and I tune in to see what they talking about, they didn't give me nothing exciting to want to click that button and pay for that fight. Maybe I'm gonna tune in and stream it, but you feel what I'm saying? Yeah, it just wasn't it. Now, if I'm a UFC fan and I turn on Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, I'm like, these motherfuckers is lit. Oh, I want to see what's gonna happen between these two. Because you got both of them talking big shit. And you got old boy Daddy talking big shit. Oh, yeah, I want to see what's going to happen. Jermaine Wood says, y'all said the press conference going to be lit. The fight will be a snooze if Ryan don't go at Devin like he did Tank. First of all, Ryan ain't never been in a fight that was a snooze. First of all, let's get that straight. Second of all, Ryan ain't never been in a fight where he didn't go at his opponent. At all. Never. And then, I'm not finna be on the petty shit like Devin and Bill was because they saw Shakur Stevenson have one bad performance when he was injured and wasn't entertaining, right? I'm not on the petty shit. If you look at Devin Haney's last two performances, Devin was in their fight. It was nothing boring about Devin in the Lomachenko fight, and it wasn't nothing boring about Devin in Kambosa's second fight. The first fight, yeah, it was boring. So his last two fights, and the Regis Prograis fight, he didn't get Regis up out of there, but it wasn't nothing boring about Devin and Regis. It was a one-sided ass whooping, and Devin was letting them hands fly all over Regis' head, all upside Regis' head. Wasn't a boring fight. So Devin's last three performances was not boring. Wasn't boring. And you ain't never seen Ryan Garcia in a boring fight. So to say if Ryan Garcia doesn't go after Devin Haney, how can you make that assumption when Ryan ain't never not went after his opponent? Ryan ain't never went after his opponent. So we can't just make an assumption because now Jermaine Wood, it sounds like you reaching for the fight not to perform, for them not to get in the ring and be, entertaining. That fight is going to be entertaining because of the clash of styles. Right. One thing about Ryan Garcia and one thing about Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia is going to go after Devin Haney, and Devin Haney don't have the power to keep Ryan Garcia from not going after him. Devin has the skill set. He got all the skills in the world, but Devin ain't cracking hard enough to make Ryan Garcia not go after him. We know how that fight is going. That fight is going to be an action-packed fight. And we know one thing about Devin. If you force Devin to fight, he is going to fight you. If Devin got to fight, He gonna fight you. He gonna let his hands go also. So that fight gonna be a hell of a fight. I also was studying Frank Martin last night, right? I went back and I said, man, let me study Frank Martin some more. Let me study Frank Martin's last fight. And I'm gonna tell you that Frank Martin and Gervonta Davis gonna be an action-packed fight also. Because Frank Martin, it's gonna be an action-packed fight also. Just what I saw and went, you know, and I've seen Frank Martin his whole career, but I like to go back and refresh my mind. And so when I refresh my mind, yeah, it's gonna definitely be that's gonna be an action-packed fight. So we got 2 action-packed fights because the reason I'm bringing this up because I know it's a lot of, you know, I don't like Devin because of Tank, and I don't like Tank because I'm a Devin fan. And you know, they both gonna be in action-packed fights. Mastermind says, do I think Ryan will quit? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sheena says, ETB, did they do thorough drug testing for this fight? Are they gonna do thorough drug testing? I don't know, but you know, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's a major fight. I'm pretty sure a fight on this magnitude, they would have to do thorough drug testing. So yeah, I would say I would think so, but we'll be able to find that out soon. We definitely gonna be able to find out. We'll hear about it soon. Diana says, man, listen, great fights think a lot. Styles make fight in KO's word. Yep. He who imposes his will wins it. Right. He who imposes his will win the fight. And this is to me, it's a 50-50 fight. I see a lot of people think that Devin Haney just gonna go in here and walk through Ryan Garcia. That ain't what's gonna happen. Jermaine says, Key, you think this? If Ryan doesn't jump on Devin early to make him uncomfortable, Devin will outbox him to a 12-round decision. That could happen, but I mean, that can happen if Ryan does jump on him and make him uncomfortable, right? He could still, you know, Devin could still make the adjustment and still outbox Ryan. Or he couldn't. Anything is possible. Both things are possible, but I think one thing that we know from watching Ryan throughout his whole career is he's going to jump on Devin early. He's going to try to make Devin uncomfortable. Devin don't have the umph. He don't have that umph to make Ryan cautious not to jump on him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, big dog, they say they gonna KO everybody before every fight. If anybody, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if anybody gets stopped in this fight, it's gonna be Devin. And I'm not saying that Ryan does stop Devin. I'm just telling you, if anybody gets stopped in this fight, it will be Devin. A lot of y'all sleeping on Ryan, man. I went back and I watched Ryan's last fight against Oscar Duarte also. And the concept that Ryan only has a left hook, that's a lie. If y'all thinking that Ryan only have a left hook, if Bill and Devin thinking that Ryan only has a left hook, they gonna be in for a big surprise. Y'all gonna be in for a big surprise if you thinking that Ryan only has a left hook. I went back and I was studying. See, when you watch a fight for the first time live, you watching it, right? But then when you actually go back and you study the fight, you see a lot of different things that you don't catch when you're originally watching the fight. That's why I always like to go back and I study film. Ryan got much more than just the left hook. Ryan got much more than just the left hook. And I guarantee this ain't going to be no easy fight for Devin Haney. If this is an easy fight for Devin Haney, I'm going to tell y'all that Devin is on a whole nother level. If this turns out to be an easy fight for Devin, Devin is on a whole nother level. I'll tell y'all that. And but yeah, this ain't gonna be no easy fight for Devin. Josh Gallimore says, I got Devin beating Ryan, but I'm telling you right now, do not be surprised if Ryan catch Dev. They got a rude awakening coming playing with Ryan as if he's not dangerous. And he just, and like I said, he's dangerous in his right and his left. And he has a much better punch arsenal than just the left hook. And one thing I got to tell y'all, Derek James, because a lot of people think that Ryan Garcia ain't really training and he just bullshit. That's what Ryan does to throw people off. Like Ryan said, you got 24 hours in a day. It take him, a minute or two to make a post. He has a whole team that's able to put up these clips of him doing these different things, right? Ryan is training his ass off. He just want to make it look like he's bullshitting. He got a team that posts these things for him. And if he posts anything on Twitter, that don't take no time. You know what I'm saying? And Derek James, trust me, Derek James ain't for none of the bullshit. Ryan gonna be ready. Ryan is gonna be ready. And in that last fight, one thing that I got to see is I'm not finna sit here and tell you that Ryan has great feet and he has great footwork, but Ryan can move a lot better than people think he can, because Oscar Duarte was on his ass. And I saw Ryan Garcia put them feet to work. And I saw Ryan Garcia try to start boxing on the outside, using his jab, using his movement. Ryan got a lot more in his bag than y'all think he do. So keep thinking that Devin gonna go in there and walk through Ryan. You're gonna have a rude awakening. Diana says Ryan is a through and through fighter. And yeah, and Diana sees she watches things also, like I said earlier. She ain't just because she a Devin Haney fan. Oh man, Devin is gonna go through. Nah, ain't gonna happen like that. Diana says she hopes that Devin get that Ryan Garcia body. He definitely gonna go to the body, but I think that Ryan is not weak to the body like people think he is. And I gotta continue to say this, and I don't really give a damn who get mad. And if you cutting 30 pounds and you dehydrated and you just not healthy like that, you cannot take punishment to the body. You can't. Can't nobody tell me that Ryan was at his peak. If you look at how Ryan looked when he got in the ring against Gervonta Davis, I'm talking about his body. That motherfucker was frail. Just go back and look at Ryan in the weigh-in when he weighed in against Tank, and look at him in the weigh-in his last fight against Oscar Duarte. And ain't nobody with common sense can tell me that he didn't look like he was frail. Like, and like I said, Tank Davis, he said it. Ryan got hurt to the body in training camp, and he had a separated rib. So does that matter? Yeah, it mattered. I'm not saying that he would have beat Tank. I still don't think that he would have been able to outbox Tank, but I think the outcome would have been different. I don't think that Tank would have stopped him with that body shot, because I saw Oscar Duarte hit Ryan with much cleaner and much harder body shots than Tank did, and Ryan was taking them. He was running from them bitches. He was trying to cover up, but he was taking them. A1 salute, man. He says, man, I'm about to have a left hook on YouTube I support the channel, but goddamn, I've had 10 ads while listening and getting this road work in. I'm going back to YouTube Premium shit, random ads about balloon. And you know what's crazy about that, right? Y'all know what's crazy? Because I don't know when they running ads and when they not running ads. If they running all those ads on my YouTube channel, right? Y'all know what's crazy? They not even paying me for them. That's what's even crazier. They running all these fucking ads on my channel and they're not even paying me for them. So when y'all see that they're running ads on my channel, they supposed to be paying me for those ads. They're not paying me for these ads. So they stealing. That's what they doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what they doing. If ads are in the channel, they supposed to pay the content creator for the ads. They're not paying me for them. So they're taking all the money from the ads. Diana says, okay, she's talking to somebody else. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but yeah, I'm excited about I'm excited about the Frank Martin and Tank Davis fight. Real talk. I'm excited about these fights we got coming up, and I just think it's time for Canelo to get the hell up out the sport of boxing. Canelo is just wasting air. He's just wasting airspace. I'm not interested. Like one fight, the fights I won't pay for, I will not be paying for no Canelo Alvarez versus no damn Jaime Munguia and Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga. Sheena says, I used to think YouTube hosts press the button for paid ads. Hell no. Shit, if that was so, if I had the ability to press a button for ads to come on and then get paid off of it, shit, I'll be pressing ads through this. Everybody probably to be dipped up out this live stream. I'll be pressing. Hey, I'll be one ad pressing ass nigga. Real talk. Yeah, but they not even paying me for these ads, and they just put in ads whenever they want to. Yeah, Jermaine, boxing will be, I don't know if boxing will be better when Canelo leaves, but at least we don't have to worry about what Canelo doing and what he ain't doing. We don't have to see this shit pop up, you know, in our feeds, and and as content creators, we ain't got to talk about it no more. Hey, that's funny. But anyway, man, Cash Crypto, what's happening with it? Salute. But anyway, y'all make sure y'all smash my like button. I appreciate everybody for coming in, tuning in, everybody that came through, show support to the channel. I appreciate y'all. Much love to everybody. Wasn't too many trolls in here today, you know. And so we was able to have a good boxing conversation for the most part. I appreciate y'all. We will be back. Y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone. We out. And thank you to the Queen Diana. Much blessings to the Queen. Sheena, thank you. Calvin Elliott said there's been a lot of ads. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna go in there and turn that shit off because they ain't paying me for them anyway. But I appreciate y'all. Much blessings to everybody that came through showing love, support to the channel, and we will be back. And tomorrow is the press conference in LA, so I'm excited. I know that's gonna be lit in LA. You know, the LA, California, the hometown of Devin and Ryan Garcia. So they gonna be lit tomorrow. We out, y'all.